you on working with MongoDB database. So we learned CRUD commands, how to insert, update, delete, creating database tables and all. And we learned how to create API requests. How to create API requests. So just I given a sample one. So how we can make request and it can respond. So up to this you are able to do, right? Have you set up the database? Because our next complete example will be on that concept. That means for the next few days, whatever design we are going to work will be on that database only. So that's the reason you need to set it up and work with that environment. So creating database according to requirements. So I already uploaded that. Database I can't upload. Database you have to create the document I given to you. Right now, server side API requests for our project, we will learn how to create, how we can create the API requests. So what are the API methods we need? So we are writing here HTTP request methods for project. So this is a video tutorial project. For this video tutorial project, what are the HTTP request methods? So what HTTP request methods we need to create? We will build them now, right? What are the methods required? So actually our database I will open MongoDB. So that is the database. So MongoDB compass and connect. And the database we are having here is React DB. That is the database. In this we have admin and we have categories, users, videos. These are the collections we are having. What is the role of admin? Role of admin, we will maintain one dedicated admin user. Only he can manage modifications, deletions, and everything. We will not give any registration of admins. Admins, we have one reserved, user ID, password. So admin will have to log in with that user ID, password, and he can manage the tutorial. Adding records, removing everything he can manage. So we don't want to give any registration of admin. We want to use just only login. And you see in this admin, already one user is there, John admin, only he can manage everything. No, you want 2-3 people admin. So then you can put reserved. Reserved 2 records you can keep. So we don't want a registration of admin. So we want only login of admin. But when user admin logs in, we have to verify whether user ID and password are matching or not. So that means we need to get the data from this table and we need to verify whether the credentials entered are matching or not. That means now what is the request we need? We need a get request. And what is the get request will be slash. So we have admin. What it is going to do? It is going to return. It returns all admin users. Actually, it is an array. it returns all admin users array. So from the database, it is going to return all the admin users. That is the first request we want. So we don't want anything like registration of admin. We want to just give login. Then what this request have to do is return me all the admin details. If it can return all the admin details, we can verify the user ID, password, and we can manage. Okay. Next, another request is we need another request. Let's go. There is categories table. Here we can get the list of all categories. We can get the list of categories. How to get the list of categories? So that means we need get categories. So this is going to, it returns all categories. That is also an array. Can we add category? So of course, if admin wants, he can add a new category. If admin wants, he can add a new category. So in that case, you need a post and that should be add category. And what it should do, it allows to add a new category into database. So into the database collection. So it will add a new category into that. Into which table? Categories table. Into the categories collection, it must able to add. So we need one request for getting all admin, another request for getting all categories, and add category, but we will give only for whom? Admin. Only admin can see this and only admin can add a category. Like that, we will create an interface so that only admin can log in and he can add categories. That is the option. Okay. So for categories, we need both get and post. What about users? Users also same. We need one get. This is users. What it should do? It returns all users. It is going to return all users. It's an array. It returns all users. And we need a user registration also. User registration means, so we will say post and it will be what? User add or register user. We will use register user. It adds a new user into database collection. So it will add a new user. Register user should able to add a new user. So user can log in and user can register. For login, we need to get the users and we need to return. For register, we will use register user. This is nothing but it inserts a new user into the database. Okay. Now, next what we want is, so we can add a lot of more functionalities, but basic functionality we will design first, everything. Videos, that means now what is videos is get. This is videos. Actually, it returns all videos. It returns all videos. Suppose I want another request that can return any specific video, because when user selects any video, only that video should display on screen and it should play. User can see the list of all videos and user can display the videos. Then what you can do is we can create another get. This is what? Videos slash, we will pass some ID. This is nothing but it returns specific video details. it will return specific video details. Actually, this is also array, but this is an array, but only one which matches. That's an object. It is going to return one object, only one record that is matching with that particular ID we will use. Next, another one we want to get. So see, if you can get videos, you don't need this actually, because on this you can filter. But filtering on the data after fetching it in the client side is very risky. It's a very lengthy, heavy, because you are fetching millions of data in the front end, and filtering front end is not good. So we better do the filters in the back end and get only what you need in the front end. So similarly, suppose I want to filter the videos based on category, right? HTML videos or some Java videos we want to filter. Then we will use another get. This is category. Say this is a video, get video, and slash get videos. So, and in that slash, the category name. What this will do is it returns all videos related to specific category. This is array of objects, but it will return any specific. Videos is also array of objects only. It is an array of objects, all the videos. So get videos by category. So that is fine. Next important is admin must able to add a video, update the video, delete the video. Admin must able to manage the videos. Then we have to write post. This is add video. It allows to add a new video into collection. And we have put, this is update video. So that means it allows to modify video details, specific video details. And we have delete method. We say delete video. So it removes specific video from collection. So this is all the methods we want for our application. So you need to create an API with all these methods. Now here, yesterday what we done is, yesterday we just sent some response hello, or we sent some response of direct object. But this time it has to communicate with database. How client-side API can communicate with the database? How to create the APIs? Let's see. Generally, now the server-side logic, we must learn how to connect with the database. Yesterday, I asked you to install some libraries. So we are creating API for above requests. We are creating API for above requests. First step is install libraries. Already we installed libraries yesterday. One more time I am giving. Every day you don't need to do. So what are the libraries you need to install is, you need npm install. One is MongoDB, that is the driver. Another one is npm install CORS. Another one is npm install Express. These are the libraries you need. Actually, few months back, we used to use another library called body parser. Actually, body parser is used for converting data into JSON translator. But latest version of Express, they have a body parser internally. That's the reason from recent versions, we don't need to install body parser. But even today, if you see online some examples projects, so which explain MERN stack, then you will see people using a library called body parser. That means it is not latest Express. They may be using some old version of Express, because in latest Express, you have a inbuilt body parser, which is very important for translating the incoming data into JSON. From any client-side technology, when they pass data through a form, that data need to be converted into JSON. That work is under the control of body parsers. So Express is having a body parser these days, so we can directly use them. So these are enough. Now let's create the API. We will go to our project. And in this project, we have yesterday video API.js. In this, so first thing is, let's clean up all this. First step up to this is same. What is this is, we have to import Express. Express is the middleware you need. You need to import two more. One is course require. What is that require? Require method course. We have to import that course. We need to import another one, that is Mongo client. Require, this require MongoDB. In MongoDB, because MongoDB is a huge library, in that we want only client class. Then we have to use .mongo client class. This is enough. Only this class is enough. You don't need entire MongoDB library. So we are importing Express and course and Mongo client. Now we are creating an app. This is a server side app, and this app is running on port number 5000. Now this app must use this course to avoid blocking of data, right? That means we have to just use app.use. This app should use course, because course will control the data blocking. Because when you are sharing data across applications, one of the main threat is, because shared data is shared in applications, data sharing in applications is not a safe method. Sometimes your browsers will block the sharing. And to allow sharing, or you want to control the sharing, then you can use this course. So this is very important. Otherwise, it will fail when you are sending some data from your React application to server application. It will fail. So fetching will not be a problem. Sometimes fetching also will be problem. So your client application cannot read the data from server, and client application cannot send data to server application. Sharing data between applications will be blocked. To avoid that, we can use this. Sometimes what temporarily developers do is, they install a plugin in their browser. In a browser, you can install a plugin called course, but that is not recommended, because we don't know which browser client will use. Actually, if you have browser, suppose I am having some Chrome browser, because I installed that in Chrome, I will show you. This is the Google Chrome browser. In the Google Chrome browser here, actually, I have an extension called course. This is an extension. You can install this extension. What this can do is, according to situation, you can turn on sharing, you can turn off sharing. If you don't want your browser to share data with any another application, then you can simply turn off. Turn off, turn on, you can keep that. But this is general people don't know all this. This is technical, right? For a general person who is using internet, you cannot ask like install a course plugin. He don't know anything, right? So in that case, we manage everything in the backend itself. By using separate library, we can do. But sometimes in developers computers, you will see this because they want to control dynamically in certain occasions, right? You don't need this, just you need to use this course. Okay, next step is, another one is, our app should use a body parser. Body parser responsibility is any incoming data will actually come in a binary form. That binary form data we have to encode the binary form. That means encoding is nothing but coding and encoding. Decode, encode. So date, actually we call that mechanism, means more specifically at architecture level, it is called COM marshalling. We call it as COM marshalling. So COM marshalling is a very high level technical word. COM marshalling means it is the process of, COM means common object model. It is the process of converting binary code into an object form and converting again an object into binary form. This is called COM marshalling. That means the process of converting an binary data into object and an object to binary, the process is called COM marshalling. So this is Marshall, COM to Marshall, we call it as COM to Marshall. That is common object model. Actually, your firewalls will not allow COM to Marshall. You know, your computers have firewalls. You heard about Windows Defender. Actually, you don't need an antivirus. If you are perfect in handling Windows like operating system, you know every security feature of Windows, you can prevent a lot of things with that. You don't need an antivirus. Do you know antivirus is not preventing virus? Antivirus is detecting virus and it is destroying. Some antivirus can detect while the virus is coming, right? But they cannot avoid infection of virus. That depends on antivirus type. And some antivirus cannot recognize certain type of virus, right? That means some antivirus cannot recognize every type of virus because some people write virus programs in such a way that they can bypass antivirus, right? That's the reason you see in the market so many antivirus softwares will be. So why? Because every antivirus software cannot have the ability to manage every type of virus. That depends. So that is the reason we use Windows Defenders, we use firewalls. You know, in Windows, we have a firewall. If you turn on the firewall, then it will prevent some suspicious data. So this COM marshalling is nothing but when data is trying to transport from one application to another application, firewall will block it. Firewalls will not allow to come. Due to that, what happens? You need to turn off firewalls to enable data. When you turn off firewalls, what will happen? Virus infection may come. That means your system is not safe. So without turning off firewall, how you can transport the data? That is what the speciality of XML is actually. That is the speciality of XML and JSON type. Do you know the special ability of XML and JSON? They can flow through firewalls. They can flow through the firewalls. Firewalls cannot block them. That is one of the major feature of XML, right? Now the point is, whatever data they send from a React form, Angular form, or JavaScript form, or jQuery form, anything, Whatever data they send from the front end, it comes in a binary form. That binary should be converted into JSON. That means we need to encode. That means it is in binary. We have to encode into object. After that, convert into JSON and give it to our application. Then it can insert, or it can update, or it can delete. So a lot of work is there. Server side programming is not just simple steps. It has a lot of things to handle. So now what you have to do is, actually this work is done earlier by a separate library, but now Express can do it. So what you have to do, app.use express dot, so URL express.url encoded. Here we have to put an property extended as true. You have to set it extended true. This indicates that actually you see this is using a body parser. You see it is using a body parser. Earlier, we used to have a separate body parser library. Even today, in several online examples in YouTube channels or websites, you will find people telling you to install body parser library. Install a body parser library. You will see that in many examples. But latest, we don't need that because it is inbuilt available with Express, right? So earlier people have to separately manage. Now what is this is, so encoded bodies, it will able to translate. Encoded bodies are nothing but form data, query string. This all comes as encoded. So extended true indicates that allow to transport. Okay. After transporting, convert into JSON. That means now we have to again write app.use express.json. It should convert into JSON. Just like in fetch, two methods are there. In fetch, first then method, what it is doing, it is collecting the data in binary form. What is second then method is doing, converting into JSON. Same thing we are doing here. We are first collecting the data in binary form and converting into JSON. That is the concept. This is not required if you are sending data. This is required when you are collecting data. So this you may not see. This you may not see in any API which is having only GET requests. You can see this in an API which is having GET, POST, PUT, DELETE, like operations are there, then you need this. Okay. This is the mandatory set you have to do. Next, one more. To connect with MongoDB, we need a connection string. Connection string you already know, MongoDB : /127. To read, to insert, to update, to delete, every time you need it. So better what we will do is, we will declare a variable connection string, connect constr, and what is the connection string? MongoDB : 127.0.0.1 27017. Better I keep in a declaration part here. I will keep that here, connection string. Now, what is the point is, because every request you need a connection string instead of a set. Okay, let's create the request now. Let's create the request. See the first request. The first request is, I want to get all admin people. So that means what is the request method? Get. What is the request route? /admin. /admin is the request path. It should return all the admin users present in a database table. So how to create the request? App.get. What is the method? /what? Admin. And it uses a callback function which have every server side callback request contains two objects: request object, response. We have a request object and we have a response. What is the purpose of request object? To get data from client. Response is to send response to client. So order dependency is there. First object always request, and object is always response. Right? That means now what we will do is here, when user makes this request, first thing we have to connect with MongoDB because data is not here. Data is in MongoDB. We have to connect with MongoDB. So who will connect with MongoDB? This class can connect. This class object, it is a Mongo client object. Client object means it can connect with server. That means now here I will use Mongo client dot connect. Connect with which? MongoDB server. MongoDB server address. MongoDB server address we kept in connection string. Connection string. That means this is how we need to connect. That means Mongo client is going to connect with this particular server. Now, important is just few months back, that means actually for your previous React batch, when we discussed this concept, the Mongo client was having all the functions in a callback method. Very recently, they changed these functions into promises. Now, from past few months, majority of all libraries are changing themselves from callback to promise. They are not using callbacks anymore. They are using the concept of promises. And you know, callbacks and promises difference in JavaScript. Actually, just a few months back, it was Mongo client. So Mongo client, that means suppose I'll say short. Yeah. We have like Mongo client dot connect. After that, connection string. After that, we used to have a callback function. This callback function will get an object. What this object can do, this object is going to communicate with the database inside this connection. Right? That was few months back. Very recently now, every library they change it to promises. So now you know how to write promise in JavaScript now. Mongo client. So dot connect. If it is a promise, that means it contains connection string and it contains then and it contains catch and it contains finally. It is not callback, it is promises. So just recently it changed. That's the reason again your code will fail if you see old websites and practice. You see old videos and practice. That means any React video related to backend connections through MongoDB just uploaded 5-6 months back. If you watch and try them, you will fail. You will fail because that library changed now. So if it is a recent one, then you will see it is not using any kind of callbacks. It is not using any kind of callbacks. It is using what? Promises. It is working with promises, right? Suppose actually I will show you, means you will already find in websites. I don't need to show you. What is it? MongoDB, Mongo client Node.js. You see, this is the Mongo client Node.js. We will see some other general tutorials which people find online. Actually, this is the connect with how many years back it is, 2013 to 14. So you can see here, you can see this connect method is having a callback function. It is having a callback function. So this is old way. Mongo client is, this will not work anymore. It will fail. This is very old concept, right? And this is actually 6 years back, just 5 months back also same, right? Recently it changed. Then you will fail. You try this, it will fail. But majority of answers will be callbacks only, right? But they recently changed it. They recently changed it from callback to promises. Promises means, then how do you use a promise? You have to use a promise connection string dot then, and we have to use a, this then uses a function. It is a function. What this then can do, it can return a client object. It can return a client object. I will just give client object obj. What this client object can do is, it can connect with any database inside this connection. This connection string is a connection with server. In that MongoDB server, after connection is successful, all databases in the MongoDB server you can access by using which object? The client object. That means now what I will do, by using client object DB method, we can access which database you are looking for, which database you want to connect. So what is our database? Our database is what? React DB. That is the database. Now this database will be loaded into memory. Once it is loaded into memory, how to collect the collections inside that memory? If the database is loaded into memory, how to access? We will create a reference name database, and in that reference we will assign. That means the database React DB will be loaded into memory. That memory can be accessed with reference of what? Database. That means whatever collections that are present in that particular database, you can access by using database.collection. What is the collection name? Collection name. I want to get all admin users. Collection name is what? Admin. Now, how to read data from the collection? Yesterday I showed you read command, update command, delete command, insert command. To read, what we have to use? Find. To read all, what you have to do? Query is empty. It will read all the records. After reading all the records, we need to convert that into two array. We have to convert all the records into array. Because remember, again, you are reading from another server. That means Node.js server is connecting with MongoDB server. From there, data have to come. That is what I said, three-tier architecture. Three-tier architecture, that means in the front end, we are having React. In the back end, we are having server side Node.js, and its back end, it is MongoDB database. And here, to array will convert to array. And see, this is also a promise now. That means what we have to use? Dot then. That means if conversion into array is successful, then it will return all documents. It will return all the documents. Now what we have to do? We have to send these documents to client. Documents means all records. How to send all the documents to client? By using response object. So that means we have to use response dot what? Send. Send what? Documents. After that, response dot what? End. That's finish. This is how we can connect. That is how we can access the data and we can return. So this is one request ready. Let's try. Up to this we will try. Then we will go with others, right? So then first we have to compile and run this. And make sure that you are listening and started, right? And I will open in terminal. And how to compile? Node video API.js. And it will start the server. Server started. Now we will test. Remember, if you are testing GET request, it's fine. You can test from browser, but you cannot test post, put, delete from browser. Browser is only for testing get. Then what software developers do is to test all API methods, they use some separate softwares. We call them as web debuggers. We have web debuggers like Postman, we have like Fiddler, we have like Swagger. These are web debuggers. So in real-time projects, so people use these type of tools for testing APIs, because from browser you can test only get request, because in the URL whatever you type it is called get. Other request you cannot manage. So others you have to test by using these debuggers. So that means you can test by connecting with front end, but before connecting with front end, first we should know whether they are working properly or not. Then we have to use these tools. You have to download and install these tools. Any one of these is enough. You can try. So get request you can test. In browser you can test. For example, I will show you in browser. What is the request? http:// what is it? 127.0.0.1 5000 slash what is it? Admin. Admin is the request and it should connect with the database and get me the data. So perfectly working. That means it is connecting with the database, accessing the data from the table, and it is returning an array of admin. That's fine, right? Actually, you can test this by using, in my computer, I have Postman. This is a app. You can download and install Postman for free. Postman, Fiddler, Swaggers, they are freely available. You can even add a plugin like Chrome plugin of Postman and all. But this is good. You can just download and install the Postman debugger. In this Postman debugger, let's see here. In this debugger, this is how it looks like. This is empty. Now what you have to do is click on this plus button. That means a new request. And in the new request, it is asking what is the request you want to test. Get, post, put, patch, delete, purge. So many will be there. All these. I want to test get. And what is the URL? URL is http://127.0.0.1 and 5000 and a slash admin. After configuring the request, just click on send button right side. You can see there is a send, and the send button will get, and it will show the data is coming. It will show in a raw format how data is coming. It will show the preview of the data. This is generally how data is coming. Request, how it is working. Now here you can test post, put, delete like methods, right? In browser, you cannot test others, right? Okay, this is fine. One request is ready. Now we need to create the second request. Let's do. I will stop this now. Now one request is ready. Now let's add another request. This is server side routing now, right? App, what is another request? Slash. Slash is what? Categories. We need a request and a response. Now we have to connect. Mongo client connect with the connection string, and then get a client object. And this client object can communicate with a database, where what? Database is equal to client object DB method. What is the database? React DB. Be very careful with the capitalization of database table names. That also matters because it is JavaScript. You are using server side JavaScript. That's the reason I hope you already learned. If anybody asks what is JavaScript, you should never say JavaScript is a client side script. That is completely wrong point. JavaScript is not a client side script. It is not a client-side script. JavaScript is a language. It can be used client-side, server-side, database, animations, everywhere. Just because some people learn JavaScript only client-side, then they have an habit of saying JavaScript is a client-side script. That's a wrong point. So JavaScript is used server-side also. Node.js is using JavaScript server-side. And wherever it is used, it is case sensitive. Capitalization matters. Especially MongoDB collections, databases, capitalization issues will come. In the same way how you mentioned, you write. Otherwise, you will fail, right? So next step, by using database collection, what is the collection this time? Categories. So find categories dot find all records and convert to array and use it. Then get all the documents and response dot send what? Documents. After that, response dot end. That's enough. This is accessing all the categories. So we are fetching all the products, all the admin details. We are fetching all the categories. Okay, let's create another one. First, I will create all get requests, right? That means let's create users also. So app.get / what? Users. Request and response. Okay, so response. And here I will simply copy and paste this code because I need to just change the table name now. What is the table name? Users. That is only the table name I have to change. That's done. Okay, next what? Next, get videos. That means app.get / videos and request and response. Okay, now the same, let me paste again. This time it is coming from where? Videos. All the connection is same, right? Just we need to define the videos. Okay, one more is there, but this time the route is expecting parameters. The same thing you will face in React also, same concept. Routing almost everywhere same. In Angular also routing will be there same. In React routing same. In .NET also routing will be there same. That means the route, only the point is the library for reading, the library for managing will be different, but the route paths are same. Everywhere the path is same. That means now I want the route to take a parameter so that it can query and return only the details that are matching with the parameter. Then actually now we need app.get. So I want here /videos / the video ID, because I need to get based on how to pass parameters. Parameters are passed by using /:. Parameters are passed by using /:. Parameter name is ID. That is how we pass the parameters. If you want to pass multiple parameters, again /:, we have title. That means you can filter based on ID and title. Suppose you want more parameters /:, some views like this. We can pass multiple parameters. Currently, we need only one parameter. What is it? ID. Now, what we have to do is request and response. I need to collect this parameter. How the parameter is passed? Remember, parameter is declared like this: videos /: ID. How it is passed? That is formal. What is actual? Actual is videos /2. That means now what will be happening here is it is going to create an object. In this object, ID is the key and 2 is the value. That is how it is going to manage. That means the ID is the key and this is the value. You know that actual values are passed in formal. Now, how to collect these parameters? Parameters is an object. How to collect the parameters? By using request object, params method, you can access that ID. Request parameters is nothing but it is going to collect all the parameters, because parameters, actually this is stored under which name? Params name. Under params name, these parameters are stored. You can access by using request parameter dot ID. It is going to access the parameter and it is going to display. So how to collect the parameter now? To collect the parameter, first var ID is equal to request dot params dot ID. That's how we do. Now what we need to do? We need to filter only the products that are matching with it. But be careful, the ID in your database is a number. And whatever you pass from URL is a string. Then data type mismatch will happen. Because from URL, anything you pass, from form, anything you submit, it will be by default what type? String. And in that case, this is not good. We need to parse. You know parsing na? Parse int, you have to convert this into number. You know that. Otherwise, it will be treated as a string type. And in database, ID is not a string. ID is a number. So you need to convert. Okay, now what? I need to get only the videos whose ID is matching. Then how do we write the query? You know the query. See, I will paste the query. Same this one. What is the table name? Collection name. Collection name is what? Videos. But in the find, not all videos. What is the find query? So video ID is matching with the ID you passed. Am I right? Now this is going to return only the video which is matching with the ID. It's not going to return all. That's it. That means yesterday I showed you find queries. How do we find which is matching equal? I showed you and or like queries, how we can write. That means this is nothing but it is going to filter and get only the video which is matching with that particular ID. So this is the method ready. All the get methods are ready. One more method is there. So we need to do that by using category. That means actually this is category ID. That is category ID. Get videos based on category ID. You can use category ID or category name. But in the database, you remembered yesterday, we used category ID as foreign key. Right? In the categories table, we have category ID, category name. In videos table, we are not using category name. We are using category ID. You see in the videos table, what you are doing? In the videos table, you are using category ID. That means based on which category, the category ID. It will return all the products which belongs to that category. So here we need to use another query similar to this. This time, what is it? It is get videos, and this is what ID? Cat ID. Cat ID is category ID. So I will access the params dot what? Cat ID. And what it has to do, it should show all the videos which belong to that category. What is the find command query? Find command query is nothing but category ID is matching with the ID. That's it. That means this is going to return all the products whose category ID is matching with the ID you pass. Right. For this front end, we will create in React. This is the backend querying. How you can get the videos based on category ID, how you can get the videos based on ID, right? That depends on different queries. Actually, We don't need to write all the queries. We can filter in the client side itself, because you learned array methods of JavaScript, array find, array filter. By using find and filter methods, you can filter. That means only one request we need. What is that request? Get all videos. Once you get all videos, on that applying filters, you can do client side, but that we don't recommend. Why? Because millions of data, how you will filter client side? Everything you need to manage through server side, APIs only. Then only the result we should use. All the requests for get are ready. Let's try this now. I will compile video API.js. Let's request different, because all our get requests I will show you in browser. http:// so 127.00 and 5000 yeah, slash. First, what it is? Admin. Admin is going to get admin details. Okay, what is the next one? So let's see who is the next. Next is what? Categories. Let's request categories. Categories is going to return all categories. Working fine. Right, we are able to read all the categories. What is the next? Users. I will just use here users. Users is going to get the users. Currently we have only one user. Later we will register, right? Next, what? Videos. Videos. So slash what? Videos. Videos also, currently only one video is there. It is able to fetch, right? Suppose you see this is users, it will get users. Suppose I am giving like this. Videos /1, it will get the first video. That's also working fine. Currently we have only one, right? Suppose I entered videos of 2, then it is empty. Nothing is there, right? So videos of 1, it is going to get. Another one is filter by category, right? So that means now I am giving here, what is it? Get videos. Get videos /1. There is no, because that videos category belongs to 3. It will get the third one and show. That means the video category ID is 3. That's also working fine. Currently we have only one data. So that's, if there are more videos now later when we add this, all queries are perfect. These are all the queries we return for fetching the data. Now let's add the request for adding, inserting, updating, deleting. Let's do that now. I will stop this now again. Okay, let's go. The get request is finished, all of them. Now let's create the post request. First thing, I must able to add a new category. I must able to add a new category as admin, right? So to add a category, let's go to the categories table. In that, we need 2 fields. What are those? Category ID and category name. MongoDB have a internal mechanism of giving a unique ID for every record. You don't need to worry about this one. For every record, a unique ID is automatically generated in MongoDB. That is not required for us. We have to just check that our data is having 2 details. What are those? Category ID and category name. So what we need to do is, we need to create app.post method. Post is the method for inserting the data. So post method, what is the path? What is the post method path we are expecting? Add category. That means we'll use add category. Okay. Then we have a request and a response. Now the point is, first we will connect with the database. That means Mongo client dot connect. Or first I will tell you what is the data you want to insert. Collect the data first. Data will come from front end. From front end, from a form, they will insert the data. So from where you are expecting the data? The data we are expecting from a form. From in front end. Front end means it is from React. From React form, we will use formic library. By using formic, so we submit the form. Generally, when you submit the form, it will submit on which request? Post. On post request, when you submit the data, where the data is present, generally, you can submit the form data on get request. You can submit on get request also. We can submit. If you submit on get request, data will be in query string. If anybody asks like, can I submit form data on get request? Of course, you can submit. You can submit form data on get request, but data is in query string. So query string is not safe. So a lot of issues are there. Then if you submit form data on post request, where it is present? It is present in, any idea? It is present in form body. Form body. Actually in HTML, we have query string, form body. If you submit on get, it is in query string. If you submit on post, it is in form body. Anywhere you should know this basic rule. When form is submitting its data on post data, it will be kept in form body. That means server side people should first understand how the data is submitted from client. If he is submitting data from get request, using a get request, if it is submitting, then we have to expect data from a query string. That means server side people should write the logic to collect query string because he is submitting on get. If he submits on post, then we should be ready to collect from form body. Form body. So where is the data now? The data is in the form body. Who will get the data request? So what we will do? We will create a category, and this category contains two details. One is what? Category ID. Okay. From where the category ID will come? Category ID will from the client side form, who will collect it? Request object. Request object will collect, it will collect from form body. Request body means it will collect the form body. In the form body means in the front end, what we will do? We will create a form, and in the form, you know that we will put category ID. One text box we will keep, and category name. So another text box we will give. That means we will give category ID, category name. That means you know that already we learned formic. Every field should have a reference name, na? Initial values. Initial values will refer to the field name. So what will be the field name here? The field name will be category ID. That means from the category ID field, whatever value is submitted, we will collect and we will store in category ID. Similarly, what is the next one? Category name. Request dot body and category name. Okay, these two details are enough because it is having only two details. One is category ID, another one category name. Okay, now what we have to do? Insert this category into database. Insert that into database. So Mongo client dot connect with connection string, and here we will use we will use a client object. So we will write database by using client object DB method. We will connect to React DB. Up to this, everywhere same. We have database dot collection. What is the collection name? Categories. Into that, how to insert a new record. Yesterday we saw we have a method insert one. Yesterday I showed you the 4 methods, right? Find method, create method, that is insert method, update method, and delete. Right? Insert one. So we have to just use this insert one. So which record you want to insert? So the category we collected. That means this is an object. This is the object you want to insert. It contains two details. What are those? Category ID, category name, but you will fail in data type now. Why? Because this is coming from form body. From form body also everything is string. Then we have to convert into parse int. Parse int, we need to convert that into number. Otherwise, you will see that this is stored as a string category ID. That okay. Now, after inserting that category, this category contains two details. After inserting category, just we have to use it then it uses a callback function. In this callback function, just put a message. What is that message? I will put console.log. I will put a message record inserted. That's it. Record inserted. Or I will put as category inserted. Category inserted. After that, response dot end. Response will end. We can even send a response saying that record inserted, but I don't want that here. We will show that in the console, because in the front end in React, we will show that message, right? As of now, this is done. This is the post method. This is the post method. So we have to collect the data from which location? Form body. And we have to insert into the table by using insert one. So let's test this working fine or not. Let's compile and run. Okay. Now let's go to Postman, because you can never test by command line. We can never test in that browser. Here, what is the method? Method is what? Post. And in the post, now we have to change the request. What is the request name? Add category. Add category is the request, but this is expecting some data that you have to pass in the body. It is expecting some data to pass. That means you go to the body and you select here. We return URL encoded. Na? That means form data will come from form in URL encoded way. We return that URL encoded true. Right? That means collect the data that is coming, because from the form it is coming means it is coming in this way. Select that URL encoded. What is the key? First key is what? Category ID. What is the value? Already I think I have how many? Already I am having 5 na. Let's add one more 6. That means I will add another category. Value is what? 6. What should be the category name? Category name. Category name is some Angular. Like this I define. Now after defining this, let's click on insert, send. You can do one more work. What you can do is, after inserting, you can take again to categories and show whether it is inserted or not. That means we can handle redirections actually. We can handle redirection also. That means as of now, I will just click on send. That means what happens? It should show the message record inserted. That means once the record is inserted, you will see here category inserted will come. Let's check the database here. In the database, already 5 are present. Refresh. And now you will see 6. One more record is added. That means we are inserting into the database from our server-side technology. So your insert command is perfectly working. Right? That is done here. So we can do one more extra simple work here actually. It is nothing but after here console log, people have an habit of writing response.redirect. Redirect to which path? /categories. That means it will go to categories and show the list of categories. There itself, after inserting, you can verify. Otherwise, what we have to do again, request categories and see. It will automatically request after inserting. After inserting, it is going to request automatically. This is a simple concept of working with post method. So we created a post method for adding category. I hope you can write for register user now. You can write for add video now. Everything looks same. Only the data we have to collect is different. Let's put this. What is it? Register user. So you need another method now. I will copy this one complete. I will copy that and I will paste. And what should be the name? Name must be register user. And what is the data we need to collect? We need to collect one user detail. And that user detail contains what? That user detail contains, let's go to the users, and user detail contain user ID, name, password, email, and mobile. So we have to write here user ID. User ID, it is coming from request body what? User ID. What is the second one we need? User name. Actually, user ID is also a string type. It's not a number type. Huh? It is a string type. Then username, and this is what? Body username. Next, what? Password. Password is request.body.password. What is the next one? Email. Request.body.email. What is next? Mobile and request.body.mobile. Okay, after that, now we need to connect with the database into which table we want to insert users. Into users, what is the detail you want to insert? User. And after that, so we define user inserted. After that, we will take to users collection. Users collection. So we registered an user. Actually, earlier we are having only one. Let's test this again. I will run this. Okay. Let's go to Postman. And here post, we should change. What to change? Register user. Okay. What is the form data? Form data, we are expecting user ID. User ID key. Key is some name Kiran underscore some HYD, something like this. And next, what is the username? Username. Username, I've given the username something. Next, what? Password. Password, I given as some 11. Okay. Next, email. So we have email at outlook.com, something like this. We have like mobile. Mobile is some +91 and 9912345678910910. Like this I define. After that, now just click on send. When I click on send, it will insert. After inserting below, it will redirect to users. You see, second user is inserted successfully. It will redirect me to the users and it will show whether the user inserted or not. And you can see in the database now. Let's go to users and refresh. You see second record is added. So we are able to insert the user. Right now, the same thing you need to do for others. Let me copy that. So let's go copy this code and let's create another post method. We are creating another post method. What is another post method? This is what? According to that, we need add video na? That is add video. Okay. So this will be the name as what? Add video. Now we need to collect one video related detail. We have to collect video related detail. So video related detail, and video related details are different actually. What are the details we are having for video? We have a video ID. So parse int, we have to collect request.body.what? Video ID. What is the second one? Title. Title is request.body.title. Title. What is the next one? URL. request.body.url. What is the next one? Likes. Likes is here we have parse int. Parse int. What is it? Request.body.likes. Okay. Next what? Dislikes. Dislikes. Then what? Parse int. So request.body.dislikes. Okay. Next what? Views. Views and parse int. This is also request dot body dot request dot body dot views. Okay, only these details I am expecting there. Let's go to the category also there na. In the videos there is one more category ID, so we need to add one more category ID. So parse int. So we have request dot body dot what? Category ID. Everything ready. Now we need to insert this into which database? It is into videos. So here which one we have to insert? Video. And what will be the option? Here video inserted, and it should redirect to which one? Videos. That's it. That is for adding a video. These all we will use in the front end, right? In the front end, we need to create forms for that. Okay. Now, what is the next one? We must able to update the video. We must able to delete the video. That means two more works we need to manage. One is update video. Another one is delete video. These are the two methods we have. Update video have to collect the new details and modify the existing. Then I will write here update method is considered as put method. Put update. And what is this we have to do? I will do one thing because already video related na. I will delete this. Okay. And I will copy the above one. Okay. This is post method. We have to create another method. This method is what? This method is put method. Put method. And it is not add video. It is what? Update video. Now, in that update video, here very important. Which video to update? First, we have to find the video, na? First, we have to find the video and update that video. Which video you will update? So, here, update video requires an ID. Which video to update? Delete video. Which video to delete? That is also ID. That means now the request should expect ID. Which video to edit? Which video to update? Which video to delete? So IDs. So here we have to use, you know how to get the ID, /ID. That is video ID. First we will create var ID is equal to parse int request.parameters.id. We are collecting the video ID. Now what should happen here? We are accessing the video details. We need to edit the video whose ID is matching with this. And what we should do, we collect the new details from the form. We are collecting the new details from the form and we need to update. Actually, these all we can write there itself. I will show you. You can write in a separate object and you can call that object, or we can simply write these all details. That means see how the update should work. I will show you. These are all the options. Okay. How the update should work. You know, update command yesterday I showed you. Collect the video, and here we have to use the method. Which one? Update one. If you remembered, I told you that update takes two queries. One query for finding, another for updating. First, we have to find the record and update that record. How to find the record? By using video ID matching with the ID you pass. It will find the video which is matching with the ID you pass. Okay. After that, what to do? Now what to do here? We have to use $set. Set what? The new details. Whatever the new details you pass, those new details you have to set. And what are the new details? New details is nothing but first one. What is it? Video ID. What should be the video ID? The video ID will come from where? The video ID will come from request.body.what ID. Again, you have to use the parse method and everything. So here it is expecting an object na set. That object is, if already created, you can collect that here. What is that object? Where video is an object. If already these details are present, what you can do is you can pass that video here. Understood? We can pass that video. That means it will set what? It will set video ID, video title, video URL, likes, dislikes, views, and category. That means it is going to update the video whose ID is matching. It will collect the new details you are passing and it will set those new details, because set is expecting the new details. What are the new details? That new details will come from the form. We will request the new details from the form and we can update the details. This is on which this is video. What is it? Video what? Updated. This is video updated. This is the put method we need to try. Let's run this and see. And observe carefully now. In Postman, we have to change the method. Method is what? Put. And what is the details? The details. What is the request? Request is what? Update video. Which video to update? Slash the video ID. Video ID currently we have only one. Okay. Now what should be that video? You see video ID is one. Already the video ID have some details like this. I want to change the title or likes or dislikes or something. That means suppose I want to change this title, because URL means some more new video I have to collect and use it. Of course, you can put likes, you can put dislikes, anything you can add. So, okay, temporarily what I will do now here is I want to change the title of that video. Right? We need to change the title of that video. Then how do we pass that title and other details if you want? See now, I'm just using here video ID 1 and go to the body. Here we have to pass all the details. Whatever details you are doing, those all details we need to pass. That means what are the details we want here? That means you need to pass all the details like this. What is the first one is video ID. Video ID is what? Video ID is 1. Okay, what is the title you want to pass? For example, what is the mistake will happen is, see, suppose I am editing only title. For that video, I am editing the title. What is the title? The title I am defining some title as some end to end react, something like this. Just I am using only one key and I am passing that. I click on send. When I click on send, that means it is going to modify. And you see here, when I refresh here, it will modify one more object and it will put. And title is already changed, but all reset na. It all resets. That's not good. That is not good. Why? This will not be a problem now. Actually, that is not a problem. That means you see edit. Suppose I am editing. Yeah. That will not be a problem. I will delete this. Delete, update. Okay, gone. That will not be a problem later. Why? Because as of now, leave it. So because later you will understand. Why? Because why in future it will not be a problem. How edit form will be? When you selected edit, how edit form will display? It will display all existing details now. It will display all existing details. In that only one detail you are changing and submitting. Will it submit only that modified detail? No, it is submitting all the details. That means generally how the edit form will be, edit form will create a form like that. And in that form, what we will do, in that form, we are going to define what it is. So we are just going to define like this. ID is already there. So title is also already there. URL is also already there. You are making only change in the title. And when you submit, all details are submitted. But currently what I have done, only one detail I am submitting, then it will set it all others as null. Others as null. So that is not correct. So what you need to do, we need to add all the details that anyhow you are going to see in the front end. We will create an edit form. From there, we will submit. So one more work is pending now. What is it? Deleting. And here it inserted an object. Actually, you don't need an object. You directly send a video. That itself is an object, right? Because this itself is an object now. That video is itself is an object, which is collecting all the details. That's enough. Okay, update is ready. One more action is there. What is it? Delete action. How do we write the delete action? Let me copy this. How to write the delete action? So we need to keep. Yeah. So what is the option we have to do? We have to write app dot what? Delete. And what should be the method? Delete video based on ID. And you don't need all these delete details to delete. What is the delete method? We have to just use the method. What is it? Delete one. In delete one, we have to just pass the video ID. That's it. We don't need the second one. Only find query we have to pass. That means it should delete one record. It is deleting one record, which is matching with that particular ID. And after that, we will put a message. What is it? Video deleted, and it will redirect to videos. That's okay. This we will implement in the backend now. So in the front end now. So all our API methods are ready. All the API methods are ready. So for our project, whatever methods are there, we created. Right now, we have to create a front end for this. That means your API is ready. API request is ready. It is just like Fake Store you saw. Right, Fake Store have already API requests ready. We have to just consume and work with the data. Now we need to create a UI for this. That means in the React, we have to create a front-end interface from where user can interact with the data. How we will create the front end? Now we will plan and design. And in the plan, we will create the design. First, user should log in. First, we will put a home screen. If user wants to watch our tutorial, he must register and he can log in. We will keep two options. One is admin login, another one user login. Admin login means he can see the uploaded videos, you can edit, he can delete, and he can manipulate them. Users can only watch the videos. For that, whatever front end is required, we have to create that now. That we will do in our React, right? That we'll see tomorrow. Right, in tomorrow's session, we are going to build the front end for this application, right? Then we will create all the single page application now. Single page application, we will take the example of single page. This entire code I will copy. We have to add a new file in server folder. What is the new file? This file name is video API.js. I will copy this. This is all the code. Now, one more thing you have to do, run the API. And you can run node. So video API.js. And simple one is, so test using, so Postman web debugger. Just to keep a note, you can use Fiddler also. You can use Swagger also. So many will be there. You can try. This is the code for the complete API. Right now, we will build the front end for this in tomorrow's session. Right. So For that, we will use front-end routing. This is client-side, server-side routing currently. We will build the front-end client-side routing. What we will do is we will create a new React project. That means whatever project we have already, there is so much messed up in that. We will create a new project. In that project, we build the complete interface with single page environment, right? That we'll see tomorrow, right?